And he says, when I get in that place of, I just put my hand over my heart and I take a moment and I go, I'm suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone suffers. I love you.
We are a judgy culture. We judge so much about other people and feel absolutely no guilt about sharing our opinions. But it's having an impact on our relationships. What do you think? How is it hurting us?
I love that whole topic, because I think what we tend to do as culture and individuals is divert energy and attention that we need to focus on ourselves, and we point it externally, so that instead of looking at what might be going on within us, we look towards other people and make snap judgments and statements about what's happening with them, and take that as a way of translating what is or isn't important. And what is important in a larger scale and in a big picture view is paying attention to what your reaction is about, and paying attention to why you're responding, and seeing what chord that's touching within you. Whatever that chord is that's being touched or hit in some way is really what the judgment is about. It's nothing about the other person.
I agree, exactly, because I think we're programmed by society to be judgmental, and that keeps us separate. I think that's kind of the bigger picture along of what they want us to be, is to experience is that separation instead of the cooperation. And so when we judge someone else, the best thing to do is look at it as a mirror and go, oh, okay, what is it? Why does this bother me so much? And what do I need to look at? And what do I need to heal? And let's work with that. And that way we come from more of a whole place, and we're more in our power rather than belittling someone else, and it's just causing that separation, and it's also no fun. And I'm all for, let's have some fun and work together.
Absolutely.
Well, what's interesting in your work at spiritualsingles.com, this is a bigger challenge for, quote, more conscious spiritual people. That's what we don't realize, because see, when you're more conscious, more spiritual, more whole, you're more self-aware of your pain. See, most people bury their pain with their addictions and so forth. But when you're aware of your pain, one of the easiest ways to get rid of your pain is to put it on somebody else. It just goes onto them, rather than feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, you're not good enough, or you're not good enough. And so you avoid your pain by making other people the bad guys, so to speak. And we need to just take that time to look inside and own our feelings and learn how to transform them, which is often just by being aware that I'm holding them and saying, I love you. Or sharing it with somebody else who says, and I love you. You're wonderful. These are like some simple things we can do. One technique a friend just told me, so I want to share it, because he was very judgmental. And he says, when I get in that place of, I just put my hand over my heart and I take a moment and I go, I'm suffering. Everyone suffers. I love you. And many times it will just dissipate. But what you're saying is so important, is taking responsibility for, I'm coming from a place of my own pain when I'm projecting onto others.
So what you're talking about is really insecurities, the insecurities that we have from inside of us. As a child development specialist, I know that these insecurities start from childhood, and parents judge their children. And us as human beings, we need to feel belonged, loved, freedom and power and attention. And when we don't feel them, when we are judged, we want to feel powerful, so we start judging others to feel that power. And I'm very interested in what happens to children, and I think one of the places to stop it is from children, really, and that's why I've turned to that and made that my specialty.
And what a powerful place to start, because when you talk about the parents and the child, I think of where that parent's pain is as well. And how they are not dealing with their pain and passing it on to their child, because they didn't transform that hurt. They didn't hold their own heart and take it in and remove the pain and transform it into something more beautiful and loving, and create that collaborative energy that can connect with joy in a different way, but passed on more pain.
So, doesn't sound like our judgmental views on society are going to go away anytime soon, but it does sound like if we really take the focus off of the other and put it back on ourselves, particularly through a loving relationship, that the possibilities of the world are pretty endless.